5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
K7ITX. U7N, I just heard Richard come in on Echo Link. U7N testing.
Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that transmit in digital amateur television. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It goes to a crossband repeater at Cougar Mountain and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about our group, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets, and also some information on the frequencies we transmit video on. Also, we let us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions during the net. Also note you'll need a tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact with someone on the net before our net gets fully underway. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Hearing none, again, welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. So far checked in by video link is Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma, Richard, K7ITX in Arizona, Wade, W7ITL in Tacoma, N7QO in Covington, WU7N, James in Northeast Bellevue, and Carlos, AD7NP in Clyde Hill, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Well, with that, I'll pause for a minute. Is there anybody we missed on the check-in? Hearing none, I'll invite anybody to come in via digital TV on the internet. Pause for about a minute and a half.
Did you tell me to go ahead?
If anybody's on the gateway coming through the internet for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net.
This is 87NP. I heard a caller from Texas. I wasn't able to get the call sign, but someone was trying to reach out and get the internet from Texas.
87NP, thanks for that. No, I didn't hear that, but thank you for your ears. Well, I'm going to bring us back up.
And welcome to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Again, was there anybody missed on checking in? Hearing none, let's go to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
In Texas.
Out of Houston, Texas. This is KD7QKU. Do you copy me?
Yes, sir. We do copy you loud and clear in Houston, Texas. It's KC5, BHQ.
I think you said BHQ. In Houston, Texas. Okay. Well, we're in. I'm in Tacoma, Washington, and our group is all over the Seattle area here. So it's nice to have you join us tonight. So I think you said KC5BHX, I think it was. I had my volume turned down too. Go ahead again. I think it was Rick.
Yeah, let's go to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Delta Hotel Quebec, and the name is Rick.
We might have a visitor tonight from Houston, Texas. That'd be nice. I have some a grandson and some great-grandkids that live in Rose City out of Dallas, so that's quite a ways away, I guess. But anyway, well, here it is, Saturday night. I don't know if Wade's going to be with us tonight. It didn't look like he was home. He didn't come to the ham club meeting this morning, so I haven't seen Wade. But anyway, maybe he'll show up. Let's see. I guess the big news here today was the lady next door. Her husband had a wheelchair elevator that was at their front door. She has a split-level house and a wheelchair mechanism attached to the garage and then set on a concrete slab. They had it put in a couple of years ago. Well, the man passed away and they don't have any need for it, and she's going to sell the house. So she wanted to get rid of it. So I just happen to know some people that the lady can't hardly get, they live upstairs and the lady can't hardly get up the steps, and so I called Rick and Bobby, their names are, and told Rick there was a free wheelchair elevator if he was interested, and he said, oh yeah, no, he was really interested. So they came right over and looked at it, and he said, yeah, no, I want it if it's, if it's free. She said, no, just take it down all the way. And so we disconnected the power. She's going to go back down to Oregon. She's been helping a daughter down there that had a stroke, and so she's been going down there and just coming back probably every other weekend. So he'll come over with a grandson, and I don't know if they'll bring a pickup or a trailer, probably sometime next week, and we'll disassemble it, and he'll take it home. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to put it. I don't think he knows exactly where he's going to put it either. They live in what we call a compound. They live on an airport that's south of Highway 512, and he has a big concrete block building that is shop on the bottom and house on the top. And it was started out, I think, he made it to be an airplane hangar. You can put an airplane and about 6 cars in it, and then he has a 2 or 3 car garage, and he has 4 Corvettes, so he has them in the garages, and then he has lifts, so he lifts one Corvette up in the air and parks the other one underneath it. He has all kind of cars and stuff. He and his kids like cars. So anyway, Rick's quite a capable guy, so I don't know what he'll do with this wheelchair lift, but his wife is going to really need one in the near future, so we'll do that, and I'll help him take it down and get it out there, so that was nice. And I had a real nice visit with Dave the other day, and then I had a real nice visit with Richard. He called, gee, Merry Christmas. We must have talked for about an hour. That was a fun visit with Richard. Richard and I used to talk a lot. We used to talk about sports and politics, everything. We always had a fun time talking together. But anyway, so back to Net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And talking about Richard, let's go join K7ITX in Arizona.
United States and Arizona with Rick from Houston. This is pretty exciting, Rick, to have you on board tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, and we welcome you with arms wide open. So Dave, just please realize Rick is on, looks like I see him on Echolink, and there's about a good 30 second difference between us, and so there's been a lot of, you haven't heard Rick very much because of the doubling, but we'll work that out. Ron heard him, and Rick came back to Ron, but then Ron started talking while Rick was talking. But Rick and Echolink has a way of overwhelming the 2 meter, and that's great. So. And we're a club that's really pioneering the way in video. I'll say that for sure. It's pretty exciting business to be broadcast in Great Britain, San Diego. We're worldwide now, all the way to Texas. So this is K7ITX. Back to next.
K7ITX, thanks with that. And get a quick ID here. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I've requested to pause for a minute and a half, just in case somebody wishes to use the gateway to join in with digital TV. Having no contact on the gateway, coming in through the internet. So let's see if Wade, W7ITL, is with us this evening. No response on that, and this is Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to N7QO Jim in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, Ron got a wheelchair lift sold to someone who needs it. It sounds like that's a really good thing that you accomplished. Yeah, I think a lot of people who have a multi-story facility, especially if they need to get to the second floor regularly, would probably prefer having something rather than having to climb all the stairs. A lot of the fellows around me have multi-level houses, and as we get older, it becomes more of a challenge. Dick, good to hear you in there. I have no video tonight. Don't know if the television repeater is on or not, but I'm not receiving anything. Let's see. Oh, Dick, Yeah, right now I've got 49 degrees at my house here. It's supposed to start raining before long, probably in the next couple of hours or so. But they're predicting that on Tuesday and or Wednesday, it's going to be in the mid-60s. So, I just see the ATV repeater just came online. I'm seeing a picture now of the SDR display. Let's see. I don't know. I've been nonstop busy for the last few days, and it looks like it's not going to slow down in the short term. Dave, I can see you now, listening attentively. And so back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
In 7QO, again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, and this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And I must report that pictures are looking great coming in from the repeater this evening. At my location anyway, everything has been, which is 5 out of 5. So with that, I'm going to move down to James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
James,
Bellevue, that's just a little bit east of Seattle, Washington. Well, to Rick, Kilo Charlie 5, Delta Hotel Quebec, that's KC5DHQ. Coming in on Echo Link, I can see you in there. Welcome to the net tonight. I think our net control might call you again after me and see if you can come in. There was quite a delay there, but we are used to delays. We are pioneering digital video up here, making the move from analog to digital. We got a couple of really talented people working on stuff, and we're making good progress. So welcome tonight. Kudos to you, Ron. If you can recycle a wheelchair lift, that is a great thing. I go to lunch once a week with a guy that refurbishes mobility scooters, and wow, some of that stuff, it's just kind of strange. It's so expensive to obtain, and it's difficult to recycle without having to pile up. And then when people need it, sometimes they don't have the money. So if you found a match there, good for you. On the internet side, I'm getting choppy movement from Dick in Arizona, and Ron is frozen, and also our net control, Dave, you are also frozen. So I'm not sure if my internet connection is up, is frozen or not. But anyway, just thought I'd give you that report of what's going on the internet side tonight. So that could also account why Rick down there in Houston is having some difficulty with some delays getting in tonight. WU7N disconnected. So that I just turned the repeater now. It's WU7N disconnected. Yeah, I got on and jumped on real fast just so I could get Rick Johnson's call sign KC5DHQ. So anyway, I will turn it back to our net control Dave over there in Seattle tonight for the Western Washington.
take it away.
WU7N, thanks with that. And let's see if we can pick up somebody in Texas. Let's see if Rick is with us. KC5VHQ. Rick, the mic is yours. And one more try. This is KD7ZYM calling Rick, KC5. VHQ.
Gents, give me just a few minutes. We're mobile on I-45.
KC5 VHQ, thanks for that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm going to pause for a minute and a half in case anybody is trying to do digital TV through the internet gateway to our site at Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Welcome back. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Let's see if we can contact Carlos on Clyde Hill, 87 NP. Carlos, the mic is yours.
All right, good evening everyone. This is 87 NP from Clyde Hill. So a couple of notes for the previous folks. At some point I was confusing the different lifts. I didn't know if Ron was converting a share lift into a Corvette lift. That was quite a feat. But maybe it was the other way around. Richard, good copy. I was, as you probably noticed, also putting your image on the air. Wade said he couldn't be here today. He had a different conflicting thing, but he had worked on a lot of this during the day. Jim, the repeater was always on, but it was on reduced power, which was the default, and when you mentioned that, I changed the power a little bit higher, and that's when you acknowledged that you were starting to receive, so that explains. On the internet side, if you're watching me on the Discord, also you probably see kind of two screens on my back. One is the low latency, the other is the YouTube. So both seem to be going fine tonight. In fact, tonight the repeater started the YouTube stream automatically. This is what Wade and I have been working for quite some time, so that even if none of us is here for the net, the YouTube stream now will just start on time, and it will stop also at the end of the net. So there's some changes there. And good copy from Richard, also from Texas. It was pretty good. And then on my next turnaround, I will show some new goodies that showed up this week, and I'll wait for the next round. Back to Net Control, Dave, from 87 NP.
87NP, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. I've got 47 degrees now and cloudy outside. And it's been an interesting net. It was nice to have Rick coming in along Echo Link KC5 VHQ. We'll get back to him in a few minutes, hopefully before the end of the net, and find out a little bit about him and what he does. And here in Lake City, I got out a little sunshine today, did some yard work, raked up some leaves. I've got an oak tree in my backyard, and finally the rest of the leaves fell off the tree today through the wind in this last week. An oak tree gives up leaves in the fall, but then a half of it, and then finally when a breeze comes up, they'll dissipate and fall to the ground. So I scooped that up today. That was about it. So that's about what I've been doing here in Lake City. And Ron, a great idea to be able to recycle a wheelchair device like that to somebody that but instead of having it go the way ending up. This is Dave, City. So now I'm going to 7.
Okay, thanks again, Dave, KD7QKU here in Tacoma. Let's see, yeah, I had a big tree like that too, Dave, and I had the tree guys come and take it down. I didn't want to mess with the leaves, and I'm glad I did. I had quite a few trees in this yard, and I had them all removed. We were talking about kids, I think, last time, and getting jobs. So Joanne's niece, they have 3 kids. A girl, she's at the University of Washington going through engineering school, and then they have 2 boys. One's still in high school, he's a senior this year, the other one graduated last year. Then they both have cars and everything, and so the dad told them the other day that they needed to get a job and start contributing to the support of their cars. Insurance for kids is just terrible. I think it's about, Carlos is nodding up and down. He knows that. Yeah, and then gas, of course. And so one of them, the younger one, went right out and got a job dishwashing at a Greek restaurant in Puyallup. They live in Puyallup. Eli, he wants to be an airplane pilot. His grandfather lives on an airport, and they have planes and everything. I don't know if his dad has a pilot license or not. I think they own a plane, but I don't know if he has a pilot license. But anyway, Eli wants to be a pilot, so he says. But so he got a job at the SeaTac airport, I heard, and it sounds like he's going to be a luggage handler. So I don't know exactly what that entails, but I guess we're going to find out. Right now, they're all over in Hawaii. They own a Kona coffee farm, a bunch of them in Hawaii, processing and everything. So he's over there. He won't be home for a while. His granddad wants him to help him get that lift. He has a full-size pickup, and then they have a trailer, 2-wheel trailer that I gave them. So one or the other they'll get next week and get that lifted. She also, inside the house, she has some of those chairs that fold down, you know, a chair lift that you sit in and go upstairs. But her stairs were short, just 7-8 steps. She had 2 flights of them. And so she has 2 chairs and a rail that goes on the wall that they run on. So I don't know if Rick's going to take those or not. He has 17 steps to go upstairs to his house where he lives, and it's hard for Bobby to get up there now. But anyway, so I don't know if he wants those. And he looked at them and said he'd think about it. So we'll see how that turns out. If not, so there will be a couple of those available for somebody. So let's see, what else is going on? We haven't seen Bob Hilling for a while. I guess I'm going to have to give him a call, see what's going on with him. That's kind of unusual that he's missed 2 or 3 nights. At least I think he has. Hasn't he missed a couple of nests, Dave? I think so, yeah. So I'll have to give him a call and see what's going on. I have 46 degrees here evenly, 46.0. It was a beautiful day here. It was above 50. I actually sat out on my little patio and drank a beer and watched TV. I have a TV set up there and I watched part of a baseball game. And first time I've done that in a long, long time. So maybe spring's on its way. So back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And I'm going to pause again for about a minute and a half in case anybody was trying to contact Western Washington Amateur Television Society with digital video through the internet. Welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Let's go to K7ITX, Richard in Arizona.
Sitting around and looking at the palm trees and view in trepidation my trip back to the Seattle area this Tuesday for an extended period. So I'm really not looking forward to the trip because this weather is just too unbelievable. I just love the death out of it. But I do bring sad news. I lost a soulmate 3 days ago. Duff Moriarty. You may have heard me talk about Duff a couple times. The owner of our 69 Datsun 510 and the late owner of the 2017 Mercedes GT. And so, and we were soulmates. We were very close together, and yesterday was my day of grief. So, I'm still, as you could probably tell in my voice, saddened by his loss. He was younger than me, but I talked to his son. I've been in touch with his son, our driver, and he's been a power on. The racing will not stop. So with that sad news, I'll pass it back to net control. K7. Well, anyway, back to net control.
K7ITX, thanks with that. Well, the next stop's over to Covington, to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Carlos, thank you for increasing the power. Gee, there I am in my attic.
my reception of the television repeater has been flawless since you've done that. So thank you for doing that. Also, that reminded me, it seems to me on the last net you said something that you responded to an email which I sent, but I did not receive any response. My guess is, I put my phone number there. My guess is you probably sent a text, but that was a landline phone number because our cell phones do not work reliably here at the house.
I put a comment on there in parentheses, voice only. I apologize. I did not do that this time. I don't know. Things have been hectic for me for a while now. But anyway, thanks for all that. For all that. Ron, nephews and nieces. Well, get a job. I don't know. I think I'd enjoy working out there for Kona Coffee for a while. I could go for that myself. Okay, I need a nap every afternoon nowadays, but otherwise, sounds appealing. The fellow who, my guess is, he's probably a baggage handler. Yes. So what they would probably do, you'd have to double check that I'm correct. They'd load the bags onto the airplanes and unload the airplanes. That could be a really difficult job, and at times it's really pretty challenging because for some reason the airplanes all tend to arrive at the same time and they all tend to leave at the same time. The airlines just don't want their competition to get a jump on them, so everyone tries to go in and arrive at the same time. So that could be a challenge for him, but youth definitely has its advantages there. Let's see. Dick, 85 degrees. Well, thanks to Carlos. I saw your picture there. You're looking well. My condolences on your friend there. What a shame. The racing will continue. That's a good thing. And I hope you can get back up here and be able to participate in the races again. And hope you're improving there. Hope things materialize for you with your dialysis. Maybe they found something so that you don't need to do it. But it sounds like not yet. So we'll keep praying that you find something there soon. Back to you, Dave, in 7QO.
In 7QO, thanks with that. And let's pick up James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue Land.
Thank you, Dave. Well, Richard, 85 degrees of dry heat. Wow, that must be really tough to live with day after day. Yeah, it's not been that here. We've been constantly getting rainstorms coming through where I live here in Bellevue. And it doesn't slow the robins down any. They still are attacking.
Creating quite a mess. My car's never been cleaner because you can't clean just the mess off. You have to end up washing the whole car. So I'm washing my car almost every day. I'm going to try perhaps putting some plastic bags up along the windows and over the mirror and see if it will discourage them. If nothing else, maybe it'll make it easier to clean up. Condolences on the
WU7N, thanks with that. And it's time for an ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Again, I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. And as been requested, I'm going to pause in case anybody wishes to use the gateway to bring digital television to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. Hearing none, welcome back to the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, the next stop will be Clyde Hill. Carlos, 87NP. Carlos, the mic is yours.
Right, 87NP back for a little show and tell of gadgets. New gadget arrived. It's this mini radio. So let's make it stop noise. I think this is about $20, and it's basically from shortwaves to VHF. It has a small battery inside, and it can do all the ham bands, can do SSB, AM, and so I'll put the link on the Discord afterwards. It's a kind of an interesting gadget. Control wise, it only has one button. So let me just take the volume out so it's not making noise. So there's a very nice screen, color screen, as you can see right now it's on 20 meters. Let's go for all the cameras. So interesting device. It usually comes with just a telescopic antenna. But I ordered a version that comes with this kind of more shortwave receiver antenna, which does a good job. On the continuation of the show and tell, let me just switch to system. For what we have on the repeater, we need to have a serial port on the back of the IDAS receiver. So I've designed on a free software, which is the parametric CAD, that basically you describe kind of the dimensions of what you want to 3D print. In this case, it's the back plate, and then I designed the bracket in the back to basically have the little board that does the serial port receiver. Give me just a minute here. 87NP back, and so the end result is basically this part, which is the back plate for the IDAS receiver, the HV20, which in the back basically as the bracket, as the bracket for the little serial port. So different camera. And that's it for now for the show and tell. Back to Dave, net control from 87NP.
'87 NP, thanks for that. That was very interesting. Boy, you are talented being able to do all of those things. So again, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Well, let's see if Rick is available. KC5VHQ. Rick, KC5VHQ, are you available?
No response on KC5VHQ. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
Okay, KD7QKU here. Well, Dave, we have a mutual friend, bought a Bill, KC5WFH. Kingston Bill, we call him. He lives over by Kingston. He joined us here on the net a few times, and he used to be on a local repeater with us all the time. Nice guy. He was an iron worker, and he came from Texas a long time ago. Kept the call sign. Well, Carlos, that was pretty nice. I was wondering how it was made. If you made it, or if you had someone else make it. That was real nice of you. So let's see. Oh, James, I know what I was going to say. I noticed that some people that have fruit trees and they want to keep the birds from eating their fruit, they take old CD discs. They look like mirrors, and they hang them on a string and they move around in the wind and stuff, and that scares the birds away. So I don't know if something like that would work by your car. But, you might try something that would move and reflect. Tinsel or something might do it, but old CDs, if you have some, hang them up on a string, and maybe that would spook the birds. Either that or you need a scarecrow. So anyway, what else is going on? I guess that's about it. I was kind of hoping Lee would show up tonight, but he didn't show up. So today, when Rick came to look at the wheelchair lift, he wanted to see him. He had a ham license once upon a time, but he let it expire. And he knows a lot about. His parents had a TV shop, a repair shop, and he repaired TVs and stuff. So he knows a lot about electronics. And of course, his parents passed away a long time ago. He's a man, probably about 68, I would guess, 68, 69. So anyway, he wanted to see my stuff, and so I came in and showed him the ATV, and he was really interested in it. But he lives way out there. There's no way he could get in. He'd have to get in over the internet. But he's an interesting person, very interesting person. So with that, oh yeah, he liked our picture. He thought it was fantastic, and I looked for Wade. I was going to have Wade turn on his camera, but he wasn't home, so I couldn't have him do that. I thought about calling Dave, but Dave has to run upstairs and stuff, and so Dave would have done it if I would have called him, I'm sure. But anyway, he got to see my face come back. So anyway, with that, back to net, KD7.
KD7QKU, Ron, this is Dave, KD7ZYN. And for your information, since your audio is unable to receive on Discord, you requested about Bob, K9PQ, and his whereabouts. He did text saying he'd missed the net this evening. He's preparing to move and needed the time to work on his complex to get it ready to sell, and so that's why he's been absent the last couple of nets and still working on that. He hopes to join us this coming Wednesday. So that's for your information only, Ron. So with that, let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Arizona.
Okay, well, my big thing is not. In the last 7 days, I've pretty intense wounds, if you will. 4 to 5 inch long gashes that have to be stripped together. Of course, the doctor says go to emergency. Heck with it. But I'm getting over it. I'm being very careful and just really, really excited about coming back home. I'll be flying with medical equipment. That'll be an interesting experience to see how TSA reacts. And the airline already told me that they're gung ho. They have no problem with medical equipment. TSA, I don't trust them for anything. If they can find a problem, they will, and I'm sure they will. So I don't know how to be prepared other than have my stuff packed really good and have documentation that I needed to stay alive. And maybe that's all I'm going to need. We'll find out. But and I'm going first class. I don't usually do that. I had the last two flights I've flown first class, and every time I tell myself, yeah, it's extra bucks, but you don't want to go back. It's just, the difference is unbelievable. I think first class, I'm like, hold please. I really think first class is what you expected to receive back in the 50s and 60s when you went on transcontinental airline flight. And with, impeccable service, a nice meal, a lot of room, a lot of leg room, and just everything about it is just, I can see why they charge more. Yeah, I mean, if the whole airplane was like that, they wouldn't make any money at the lower rates. So yeah, no, they gotta cram them in the back. But I don't want to be crammed in the back anymore. I refuse. So just how it goes. I'm gonna have to spring for extra bucks each time I come back. And I come back to Arizona. We're keeping this condo. We're not just because I'm moving. Just because the cat and the dog are, or just because the whole clan is moving back to Seattle, does not mean it does not mean we're not going to ever go back to Phoenix. In fact, we'll go back to Phoenix in the very near future. Unfortunately, probably when it's way too hot, but the next 2 or 3 days that I'm left here, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy. Anyway, that's all my blabbering, and I noticed the KC5 Texas call sign as well, Ron. That's a good point. With that, K7ITX, back to net control, and 73.
K7ITX, thanks for that. And we'll try Rick again in Texas, KC5VHQ. Rick, KC5 VHQ. And one more try for Rick, KC5 VHQ in Texas. Hearing none, let's go to James, WU7N.
DHQ disconnected. I think that might be good though as a decoy, because I think what's happening is they're robins and they see their reflection, they think it's another robin, and they attack it. And so I tried an owl. Around my deck to scare away the birds. And then actually, for small birds, I think the owls really do work. I was a soft guy once, nice guy, let a small bird build a nest by my front door, and then before I knew it, I had a whole bird convention right above my front door, which was obvious icky results. So I put an plastic owl out there, and they haven't come back. So apparently the plastic owls work on tiny birds, but the robins are maybe just too horny to care. I'm not sure. So yeah, maybe if they could do something to get rid of the reflection in the mirror, or the reflection in the windows of the car, maybe that's what we need to do. I'll try that next. I do notice that the damage I'm cleaning off every day is less with each passing day, so maybe as spring grinds on here, it'll become a non-issue soon enough. Oh, thank you very much. That is an impressive piece of 3D engineering, making the back panel complete with a little bracket to hold that one piece in. Thank you very much for doing that, and thank you for showing us the little tiny receiver. You said you were going to put the link in. I was looking at the chat on the digital side, did not see that, but maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Anyway, this is, this is James, WU7N. Rick, if you're still listening, hope you'll come back. We do this at 8 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday nights and Wednesday nights. And that is, of course, Pacific Daylight Time now, but I think you've changed too. This is James, WU7NW. Let's turn it back to our net control, Dave, for the last word.
WU7N, thanks for that.
I am in Lake City. What you were saw a cartoon from the
Cartoon. Down side a car of both, then that was the traveling line off the net. This Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave. I am. We'd like to C-Tank WW7 STR 47.08 with a specific tone of 103.5. So on behalf of the Western Washington, terminating the net at 9 o'clock. Good evening.
ITX disconnected.
Thank you.